What is going on, everyone? Guess what time it is? It's serious video time. And I don't know how long this is going to go. Hopefully not too long. We'll see. And I noticed not a lot of people are talking about this issue. And I think it's a very, very, very serious issue that needs to be addressed. So I'm here to address it. Swatting. I'm sure some of you may know what swatting is. But for those of you who don't know, let me briefly talk about what swatting is. Swatting is when somebody puts in a call to the police and they make up a story on how there's a hostage situation, there's some type of shooting, or there's some very, very, very serious crime going on, and the police need to be there ASAP to do what has to be done. And then the police go to that place, and it's usually the SWAT team in these instances, and they do a raid of the house, only to find out that there's nothing going on. These people are completely innocent, and they just wasted their goddamn time. So, because apparently this is supposed to be funny to the people that put in these fake calls. But more on that later. This really has started. It's been going on for a while, but it's really only started with video games, at least that I'm aware of, back last summer. It usually happens to major Twitch streamers. So while they're streaming a game, all of a sudden they get raided by the SWAT team, and it's all caught on camera. So why that's going on, why this started, I can't really put my finger on it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I've seen several of these stories. Some major well-known gamers in the YouTube gaming community have actually been swatted. I know White Boy 7th Street has been swatted. I know some members of the Creatures have been swatted. And I've read several of these stories when they happened, and it just disgusts me to no end on how there's people out there that think this is funny. But I read a story yesterday morning, and I think a line has been crossed. Of course, one could argue that the line already has been crossed, and I could definitely see that point, but I think this particular story should really put up some red flags in the gaming community on how this is a really serious issue, and something has to be done about it. But anyway, the story. There's a well-known RuneScape live streamer who's named Koopa Trooper 787. And of course, since he's a well-known live streamer, he's open to being swatted. Because apparently that's the trend here. But the difference between the other stories and this story is that he has a 10-year-old little brother. He was by the door, apparently, when the police barged through it. And they all aimed their guns at this 10-year-old boy who has done nothing wrong. He was just in his home, and there's guns pointed at him because somebody put in a fake call to SWAT this live streamer. So he gets swatted, and then he gets back on camera, and you could tell by looking at his face that he's emotionally devastated. He's emotionally spent. And he makes a plea with whoever out there swatted him or will be swatting him or whoever does this sick crap. He made a plea with them saying, I don't really care what you do, what you have against me online. I don't know what problem you have with me. Just leave my family out of this because they have done nothing to nobody. And I was watching that video and I'll be honest, I teared up a little bit. I teared up a little bit because I couldn't fathom seeing, like, if I was a major streamer and I was streaming and my little brother happened to be visiting me and I get swatted and there's guns pointed at him and I'm seeing that. And I do have a little brother. He's not 10 years old. He's 16 years old. And he's a good kid. I love him to death. And while I was watching his video and I was thinking about this story, an image actually popped into my head of what would it look like if it happened to me. And I teared up. Because I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do in a situation like that. I wouldn't know how to react. It's unbelievable. And there's people out there that think this is a joke, that think this is funny. Ha ha, you got swatted by the police. Ha ha ha. If any of you who happen to be partaking in this practice, who happen to be watching this video somehow, you are some sick, demented people. And you need serious help immediately. Because there is not a goddamn thing that is funny about swatting someone just for shits and giggles. What is it? What is the reasoning? It's just because they're streaming a video game? Last time I checked, streaming a video game was perfectly goddamn fine. So, what is the purpose? Why do you do this? I don't get it. I don't get it, and I understand that maybe I just can't comprehend people who are twisted in the head that do things like this. But I try to see reasoning behind things, and I just can't do it for this. I can't do it. And why do people do this? Are they that much of a social outcast? Did a lot of bad things happen to them in their life that they have to take it out on innocent people in this world? I mean, there's a lot of bad things that has happened to me in my life. There have been decisions I've made in my life that I regret, that I wish I could do over, and that have actually put me in depressive states many times. And I can't tell you how many times I wish I could take back a lot of things I've done, decisions I've made. None of that is criminal, mind you, just poor decisions I've made. And there have been times when I've been angry, just angry. I have never once, the thought has never crossed my mind to take it out on some random innocent person. Thought has never crossed my mind. So, to any of you out there who do this, you need to get some help immediately. And you need to realize how serious this is. Because guess what? What if one of those police officers was trigger happy and they shot that 10-year-old boy? Now to you, it might not have been a big deal. To some of you sick people who do this. But can you imagine how many lives would have been ruined by that? The family's life would have been ruined. The cop's life would have been ruined once they found out it was a hoax. That none of that was real. There was nothing really going on there that needed police attention. So all those lives, there's countless lives that could potentially be ruined because of your quote-unquote prank. It's just sickening. This is just completely sickening. I can't imagine there are a lot of people out there that are like this, but they exist, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate they exist in this gaming community. I think more of the gaming community, we as a whole need to speak up more about practices like this. Because like I said, this could potentially lead to some deadly consequences. And I would hate to see that happen. I really would. So, before I go, I just want to have one more final message to anybody who does this, who happen to be watching this video. Somebody's already been caught who has done swatting. And they face at least 5 years in prison. At least. You're not untraceable. You're not uncatchable. And karma is a bitch. And if you get caught, your life is ruined. Just as much as anybody else that you swat, their lives could potentially be ruined. If you get caught, your life is ruined. And you know what? Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Was your prank worth it? Because you have so many mental issues? Please seek help. For everybody's sake, you need to seek help. The people that do this. So, alright, that's it. I just had to come on and talk about this because I don't really see many people talking about this issue. I hope this raises some awareness out there. So, alright. I will see you all next time for hopefully more joyful video next time. Have a good one. I will talk to you all later.